Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Nashville, it's time for Nashville Business Radio. Now, here's your host.
And hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Nashville Business Radio. I'm John Ray, and folks, I've been looking forward to this one. Brandon Esse is with us, and Brandon is the CEO of Meal Pops. Brandon, welcome.
Welcome, John. Thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here on Nashville Business Radio this morning.
Yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you. And we want to hear about Meal Pops and how you're serving folks out there. Tell us a little bit about your story.
Yeah, you bet, man. So Meal Pops actually started as the Nashville Bar Pass way back in 2018. And we've grown into Meal Pops, the restaurant cash app. We're the only cash-included restaurant-based meal program throughout the country. And so what that means is you pay a small monthly subscription fee of $5 per user per month, and you get over $300 in gift cards refreshed monthly to over 70 different local restaurants every month. So $5 gets you $300 in gift cards to use to some of Nashville's best restaurants. And we're also in a couple other markets. So really big in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, just outside of Iowa City. And we're growing steadily in Northern Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C.
Awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about, before we go down the trail of Meal Pops specifically, let's talk a little bit about you, Brandon, and your journey. I mean, what really led you to this point? What inspired you to create this company?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So I moved out to Nashville about 6 years ago. My background in Virginia was really kind of in enterprise IT, as well as I worked for Groupon for about 2 years, kind of leading sales for their DC, Maryland, Northern Virginia territory. And I had a lot of volunteerism. So I coached youth basketball, and I sat on the board of directors, was acting treasurer for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northwest Virginia. So within that, I really learned how to learn the needs of kind of the at-risk youth in the local community, as well as how to connect with restaurants. And one day I had moved down to Nashville. I was in a relationship at the time. Didn't end up working out, but got me to Nashville. So, part of God's plan, I like to say. And I was on my lunch break at a job I wasn't too thrilled about. And a famous place called Princess Hot Chicken. I went there to eat lunch. And as I was going to eat lunch, 5 youth in the local community approached me trying to sell me candy bars to raise money for their football team, 5 separate teams, and it wasn't football season. And I'm like, man, there's these kids out here are hustling. They want it, but they're not being directed in the right direction. In my background, I thought, there's a better way for these youth to really, raise money for these type of things. And so that day I went down to the business office. I started a company called Nashville College Cash. We did business as the Nashville Bar Pass. And within our first 30 days of operation, we were able to put 2 youth through community college or technical school for an entire year, working with some of the best restaurants in downtown Nashville, the Broadway Barons, I like to call them. Everyone from the Wild Horse Saloon by Gaylord Marriott, Dick's Last Resort, which is one of the most popular and largest regional restaurants in Nashville, Coyote Ugly, which is famous in, the movies type of thing. Sure. And many more.
Yeah. Now hold on here just a second. In the first 30 days, I want you to repeat this. In the first 30 days of this company, you did what?
Yeah. So what we did is we went down to these big restaurants on Broadway, and we said, hey, we're trying to help the local community here. And what we would like you to do is offer a $5 gift card, give us 1,000 of them, and we will bring people to your business at no risk to you and distribute these to help you get business. And in that first 30 days, we were so successful that we were able to help 2 youth go to community college for an entire year. The best thing is we were the official fundraising partner of the Music City Icons professional basketball team, women's professional basketball team. And that's an organization that's one of 5 women minority-owned professional owners by a lady named Renee Bob in the entire country. And so we were their fundraising sponsor, and we were actually able to sponsor youth to Nashville's, I like to say Nashville's best basketball camp, but I'm biased on that one, promise you all that. as well. So we were really able to impact the local community immediately by connecting with the best restaurants, downtown Nashville, and then bringing them new customers, and then using that as a vehicle to help these youth and local community. With that success, the question was, hey, Brandon, we love what you're doing. We love the impact you're making. But, for every, gift card that we're redeeming, we're making $17 to $22 per redemption. How can you get us more customers? And then so I said, okay, we have a problem now. This isn't sustainable. We're not really a fundraising company. We'd rather give back to the community in other ways, but organizing youth to raise money, there's companies that do that better long term. So what's next? And so we really branded ourselves as the Nashville Bar Pass. Within the next 6 months, we started partnering with the large conferences at Music City Center. We did over 20,000 people or 20,000 customers that year. In 2019, partnering with the National Association of Music Merchants, the Hotel Data Conference, American Marketing Association, and many more, just to connect them with a meal plan or a bar pass or drink pass for the city of Nashville when they came into town. So for their multi-day event, we really facilitated them going to the restaurants and helping navigate their experience. And in turn, our restaurants were getting customers at a cost less than ever before. I mean, Meal Pops today, our solution helps restaurants reduce their cost of customer acquisition by on average 60%. We're cheaper than pay-per-click. So to get somebody to click on your website, we offer a lower cost solution that actually drives a paying, a profitable customer to a restaurant's premise, right? To be an interactive and engaging customer. We do that repeatedly. We bring them loyal and repeating customers. So we just kind of ballooned, and then COVID hit. End of 2020, obviously the beginning of 2020, we took on a couple investors, a chief financial officer by the name of Sean Syed with Big Four consulting experience. He's kind of the analytics and the brains to the operation here. And then since we've grown steadily, and we've actually grown in different regions. And one thing I like to mention, this is really important right now. A contractor, a person reached out to us. I had a GoDaddy support call with a sales and support rep who was really interested in our business. He said, man, I'm interested in what you're doing. It makes a lot of sense. People can pay $5 for $300 in gift cards to 50 plus restaurants in the area. This is a no-brainer. Said, let me ask around and I'll call you back in a week, and call me back in a week. And said, I talked to 30 restaurants and 29 of them said they'd do it. I talked to 50 people and one of them said probably not for me, and 49 said yes. Within 6 weeks, he had over 50 restaurant partners. And this is an amazing thing for restaurant partners. We don't charge them anything up front to partner. We just facilitate their ability to offer direct consumer recurring loyalty promotions on a monthly basis. And so he was able to put that Cedar Rapids, Central Iowa market up within about 6 weeks. And I think the total value of his market right now is worth, well over $15 million in gift card inventory with household names like Little Caesars and Quiznos. I think it's Billy Sims Racing, their restaurants, if you're familiar with them, if you're from that area.
No, wow.
But so we have an opportunity right now for contractors in multiple areas that can come on. You can open an area. There's no cost to you. It takes about, a good 2 months of hard work to kind of build the relationships with restaurants. But then you have a vehicle to, really make some good money within an area at very little risk to you. So we're definitely growing and expanding into multiple markets, and we'd love to start conversations around that to, help people become independent business owners, within a given territory.
Oh, wow. I want to get to that. And let's talk to folks that might be interested in that. But let's talk about how the app itself works, just from the customer point of view, from the dining customer point of view.
Perfect. You got it. So basically how it works, it's a mobile app with a virtual wallet. And when you open it, it has a gift card, and you simply scroll up or down. And each voucher has a cash amount clearly stated on the front. There's a button in the middle you hit redeem now. Your gift cards or cash vouchers are used for carryout or dine-in orders, and your transaction is directly with the restaurant. So for example, if you order Little Caesars pizza and the cost of that Little Caesars pizza is $5.95 and your cash vouchers were $6, you would go to that restaurant, you would pull up your voucher, you'd click redeem now, you'd simply show the cashier the unique code on your app, they would offer that $6 credit and you would get your pizza free that day. That's as simple as it is. Let's say you wanted to get the double special supreme pizza that cost $8 and you had a $6 cash voucher gift card. You would simply, do that same process, and the cost to you would be $2 for your purchase that day. So these are no minimum spend cash vouchers that you actually use to transact business directly with the merchant. So a good thing versus a lot of other third-party delivery platforms and other platforms, there's no menu markups. Your ordering is done through the restaurants. There's no third-party delivery or third-party contractor interaction. So your food quality comes directly from the restaurant. And that restaurant is accountable. So if they don't give you your food correctly, they make it right like a restaurant does. It's not a $3 credit in some universe where you have to spend it again.
Well, and I'm glad you brought I was going to go there, the third-party delivery apps that take a big chunk out of the bottom line of that restaurant, and then some of these restaurants are delivering meals that are unprofitable for them.
Yeah,
that's not what I'm hearing from Meal Pops.
You got it, and we're very transparent about that. So if you're a restaurant owner, you're listening to this call, and you're smelling BS right now, we're going to explain the math here for the world to know. It's straightforward. So restaurant owners pay Meal Pops nothing. What they do is they sign an agreement with us that we're allowed to distribute these vouchers on their behalf and use their logo to do so, right? We assign the rights. We're not doing it without their consent. They assign the voucher value. Currently, our highest voucher is $10 a month, distributed directly to each user. They range from $5 to $15 in theory, but our highest is $10 today. The way it works is you can promote or stop at any time. You also set capacity limits on how many vouchers that you want to distribute for customers. We do all the marketing. It doesn't cost you anything. You simply service those customers just like you simply would. And let's do the math, be open and honest and transparent with you. So food and drink cost is 28 to 32%. So if you offer a $5 cash voucher at 28 to 32%, if somebody just spends that $5, it's at maximum about $1.50, $1.40 to $1.60 at 28 to 32%. We'll call it $1.50. Pay per click to get somebody to click on your website. Like I mentioned in our previous conversation, for the word restaurants near me, where to eat, date night, things to do, at minimum are about $1.65 to about $3.50 plus just to get those clicks. Your break-even point is about $7 in total check size, right? So if you're getting that $2 in overspend on that $5 cash voucher, it's actually $7.20. So $2.20, you're actually making a profitable transaction that you've created with no upfront cost or spend. So there's no cost of customer acquisition, and that's your break-even point. Now, there's not many restaurants that their average per check spend is under, or per person check spend is under, or check average is under $10.
Sure.
Usually at minimum for fast casual, you're looking at $12, $13. So your only risk at max per transaction is $1.40 to $1.50 in actual food costs. And you can do the menu. What might you give up? You might give up a fountain soda that costs you 25 cents with under that price range, bag of chips. And those are all things that should, that a merchant for that cost to get somebody in your door to experience your brand with a smile should be willing to do to get somebody to come back in just for awareness factors. But to be honest, we see profitability, and we say about 98% of our customer transactions. But any transaction that we've monitored, and the transaction is owned, it's an owned transaction by the restaurant in our model, which is what they want. They want to own that customer. But we don't see people spending less very often, if at all.
Folks, Brandon Esse is with us. He's the CEO of Meal Pops. Thank you for that. Just the transparency of that and the clearness of that. What you're illustrating here is you're really sympathetic to the needs of the restaurant community and bringing them customers and being able to do that in a way that's profitable to them.
You got it. And the best thing is like, here's the big problem in this space. And here's really what we're addressing. So when you look at loyalty app rewards programs like the Starbucks app, fun fact, over 50% of Starbucks US-based revenue comes from their loyalty app subscribers, the people that use their app. There's a few apps that are really successful. Obviously Starbucks, Panera is doing pretty good right now, Chipotle, and there's a few more. With that being said, McDonald's just released a new one within the last 60 days. Burger King, last 60 days. The reason why is because 98% of the market, everyone besides the top 5 or 10 brands, Starbucks is one of those brands, hasn't figured out to create these programs that create these loyalty app subscribers. They spend more per visit. They're a longer term customer, and they frequent the restaurant more times. So it's much more money for the restaurants, and they really want to engage these customers. Now, a small business, local restaurant, or even, like I mentioned earlier, these Quiznos or these little Caesars, these regional franchise restaurants, they can't accomplish these results for a number of reasons. One, they might not have the capital to create these programs. Two, if they do have the capital, they might have the brand awareness. How does a single location, or if you have 2, 3 locations, compete with 100 or 1,000 of these big mega brands? And so these issues, you have those challenges, or they might not have the resources, the people resources, the expertise to do this, to implement or manage these. So what we do is we allow them to take the brand equity of all the brands on the platform to target, because we align our vouchers based on geolocation for users, to target users directly around them and to create those profitable and recurring customer relationships over time. And we're doing this at no upfront cost to them to create profitable transactions. So that's kind of where we find our niche. I've been asked by different investors, what if Uber just changed to do what we're doing? And I was like, well, or Uber Eats or Grubhub. And I said, well, I appreciate the question, but what you're missing is that those places make their money, the majority of it, from menu markups. I mean, the burger that you pay as a customer $1 for, they charge $1.29. And that's on every item and every transaction, around the entire ecosystem there. So in our model, the restaurant's getting a direct customer with more quality that they're responsible for. They're really aligning their prices, knowing directly what they're getting. And in turn, it's a equitable transaction when a consumer gets hundreds of dollars of gift cards or cash vouchers every month for a small nominal fee. I mean, you're looking at $5 per month. And for the business owner, I might add, our real target market is 2 areas and a third. The direct-to-consumer market, where we say, hey, John Doe or Sally Q in this area, we're going to use Facebook marketing to get you to join our platform. Well, we do that. That's not really our main vehicle or our most successful channel for customers. We do either we are a employee meal plan for businesses within a local area, or we are a meal plan for colleges and universities. So one program we just rolled out, Eastern Iowa at Mount Mercer University with their athletic department. We support over 600 student athletes and 200 staff, coaches, and different members within the organization, trainers and such. And they get, hundreds of dollars of these cash vouchers to spend at over 50 local eateries every month as part of, being part of that athletic department. So we're super excited about that relationship and really, enabling these more higher level business consumers as well as college students to engage our restaurant partners in equitable transactions.
Wow. Great work. Brandon Esse, folks, he's the CEO of Meal Pops. So Brandon, we are Nashville Business Radio, and we want to talk to folks in Nashville about what the restaurants that are available on the app today. And you mentioned some at the beginning of the show, but talk a little bit about, the reach of the app for those folks that are in Nashville today.
You bet. We are currently really centered around downtown Nashville, though we do have kind of islands of restaurants in like your Franklin area, Hendersonville, on the outskirts of the city, but we are really central to downtown Nashville today. We have tons of brands. I think we're up to about 80 different brands and growing at a rate about 5 to 10 weekly currently. But the ones I guess I touch on, if you're into partying downtown, Redneck Rivera, right on Broadway, Country Music, John Rich's restaurant. If you're local, there's a couple great ones. Let's start with Oscar's Tacos. I mean, everyone knows Oscar's Tacos, family owned, multi-location Mexican restaurant throughout the area. And then even healthy eating, that's huge right now. So downtown, right by the library, there's a restaurant that's veteran owned. I'll definitely touch on that because in my spare time, I lead the Bunker Labs Veterans and Residents Accelerator for some of Nashville's fastest growing military connected businesses.
Awesome.
But Copper Branch, it's a plant-based restaurant. They have everything from plant-based chicken wings to sandwiches to side items and more. The softest, gooeyest brownie you will ever try in your entire life. If that's plant-based, oh my gosh, call me a convert at the moment.
Yep.
Those are definitely some of my favorites. Quite a few more with many more to come that we're excited about as well. We have the whole one of the good ones, the Nash House Southern Spoon and Saloon. If you like your Southern meals, in the Row right in Midtown. They're owned by the same hospitality group. So Nash House right under the Cambria, as well as the Row right there over in Midtown. Two of our favorites as well.
That's awesome. Now, you mentioned, was it Cedar Rapids, Iowa? You mentioned Northern Virginia. You're trying to expand in these other markets and beyond. Talk about how that works. And you mentioned there's expansion opportunities for those that want to get involved with you as entrepreneurs.
You got it. So we're always looking for partners and investors on a separate note. But right now, what we're saying is our contractor model is something that people with, I guess mid to upper tier business level experience. So if you've been in sales before, if you've been in kind of a customer facing support role before, we have someone in Cedar Rapids, like I mentioned, that was able to open up in a market effectively in 6 weeks by partnering over with 50 restaurant brands. This is as a no-brainer. I mean, we've laid it out there for exactly what we do. It's a no-brainer for the restaurants. So that seems to be the vehicle that's are pretty easily done at this point by someone that's somewhat business savvy or customer facing competent, you call it. And we're definitely looking up markets. And so the way that works is we pretty much do a 50-50 split within markets. And if you think about it, if you get a business with 1,000 people, you can offer them right now in Cedar Rapids, let's call it over $250,000 in gift cards every month for the 1,000 employees to use at over 70 local restaurants, right? And your cost to them will be under $5 per person, or about $5 per person per month. If they have 1,000 people, that means it's $5,000 we're pulling from that customer. So you'd make about $2,500 every single month from one customer. Do it on a business of 100 people. $500 a month would be what our cost would be to those 100 people. You'd be offering them $300 times 100, which would be over $3,000 per month for all their employees. Yes, that's correct. $3,000. Sorry, doing math by the minute here in my head.
You're faster.
That's your car. One customer's a car payment,
right?
And then we'd encourage you to grow with us too. So if you want to take the time investment, which right now is 6 weeks, but let's call it 3 months, about 90 days to kind of help build a market in that area. You really have a well of opportunity to then go to, merchants or customers or your friends and family. I mean, even, some of our happiest customers today are gosh, I don't even know if is soccer mom a good term, but I think it is. I think it's to be proud of. Shoot, it's one of the hardest jobs out there. But
absolutely,
the stay-at-home mom that wants to support her family and just wants a good food at a good value loves our solution because they can take their family out now, and it's kind of sustainable for them with our cash included restaurant-based meal plan. So if you're in a market, that you can't be out you have to have. I guess you want to be at least a town of about 30,000 people. I'd say 30,000 people in that community minimum, maybe a little bit more, and at least about 40, 50 local restaurants within a 5-mile radius. If you have that in your territory, we'd love to talk with you. It doesn't cost anything to participate or to kind of sign up to open up a territory with us, and we hold your hand the whole way. But the opportunity is there, and we see it as a great way to grow, and it's a proven way at this point.
Terrific. Wow. So, Brandon, this has been awesome. And I can't imagine that there aren't some, whether it's restaurants, folks that are entrepreneurs that want to earn some income, or just people that like to eat like me, that wouldn't want to be in touch. So let's give them coordinates. How can they be in touch to learn more?
Yeah, that'd be great. I can always be reached at Brandon, BRANDON, at Mealpops, MEALPOPS.com. Any type of investor, partner, if you'd like to learn more about the company, give someone on my team. We're a team of 6 now strong. So if you'd like to give anybody kudos or anything at all, you just, shoot the weather. Feel free to give me an email. You can check out our product at mealpops.com, MEALPOPS.com. And that has a complete list of all of our different restaurant partners. And beyond that, we're available in your Apple iOS store and on the Google Play Store as well. So feel free to download the app today. You can use the code FREE30, lowercase FREE, the number 30 for free 30 days, and enjoy Meal Pops today.
Awesome. Brandon Esse, folks, with Meal Pops. Brandon, congratulations on your success. You're doing important work for the restaurant industry, and for some entrepreneurs out there that want to do well for themselves. Congratulations on that, and keep up the great work.
Thank you so much, John. Really appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful day.
Yeah, thanks again for coming on. Hey, folks, just a quick reminder, if you're not a subscriber to the show, Nashville Business Radio is a search term on your favorite app. We'd love it if you'd subscribe to the show and tell others about it, share it. That's the way the word gets passed on great shows and like ours, and they're only great because of the great work of entrepreneurs like Brandon. It's not about me or Business RadioX. It's about the great guests that we've had, and we appreciate your support when you share the show because it promotes the work that important work that they do. So thank you in advance for that. So for my guest, Brandon Esse, I'm John Ray. Join us next time here on Nashville Business Radio.